This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So we started with the term called testing yesterday, right? So we use a lot of synonyms related to that, right? So based on the synonyms, we formed a sentence for this testing. What is testing defined as over here, right? We said like this is a process of executing an application with an intent to find defects. This is what we defined it over the yesterday, right? So as a test engineers, we are only here to find out some defects out of that application. So after finding out the defects, we will prepare a bug report and give it to the developer. So related to that, we evenly formed another sentence also to this, right? Is a process of identifying the defects, document them, right? And subjected to rectification. This is what we formed it over there, right? You identify the defects, prepare a bug report, a defect report document, right? So that is what you'll see it as a document. Subjected to rectification, in a sense, sending it to the developers, right? Making it correction over there. So correction or resolving will always done by the developers over there. We are only here to do the identification and making sure that reported defect is evenly resolved or not, right? End of the day, the application or the defect, whichever you have raised it, goes to the developer and comes back to you, test engineer. There is a cycle keeps on happening over there. Till when? Till all the defects are resolved, or otherwise till all the requirements are satisfied. That is what they will say it as, right? So we formed a sentences in this manner. We defined the word called testing in this manner. Along with that, we evenly said over here, right? We evenly had a discussion. Testing done by whom? We picked up two people over there yesterday. One is test engineer, right? What all he is going to do, right? Validating the functionality of application as a functional tester. So this is what we discussed about the working condition of the application. How well the application is working is nothing but how well the application is functioning. This is what we discussed about yesterday. Along with that, we evenly had performance of an application as a performance tester, right? The responses, how well the application is responding. Let me put one line for you in this case, right? How well the application is working is related to the functionality. How well the application is responding is related to your performances over there, right? And along with that, we are in manual, right? Manual testers will create test cases, right? So based on the test cases itself, a script will be generated, right? So that is why we will be putting this line in this case. Manual testers will create test cases and later convert them into script, we say, right? Where now we are called as automation testers over here. Right. So this is what we had discussion related to the test engineer's point of view, right? And we evenly picked up another person also where we called developers, right? And we used a technical term for the developers testing, which is unit testing, right? So ensuring the programs, whatever the source code the developers have prepared it, ensuring whether it has been perfectly working, no any errors over there or not. So that is what it has been defined as developer's point of view, right? Testing or checking for syntax errors, or otherwise checking for coding standards over there that we have defined. As I told you yesterday, there are another people also who have to do testing, right? Where we define developers and test engineers over here yesterday. What do we do is we'll call up both them as end users now, right? Which they say group of developers and test engineers, right, are always called as an end users now, right? Test the product at client location. Either you call it as a client location or live environment over here, right? Now, what does mean by this? The product, once it is being developed, tested, and declared as a defect free, it is supposed to be working at the client location where it has to do the implementation exactly over there, which we call it them as a client location, a live environment, right? And that we call it as a UAT testing, which is user acceptance testing, we call it as end of the day, right? So what is mean by this user acceptance testing? Once the product is developed, tested, and delivered, right, what is it you will do? Consider yourself as a client, right? We'll pick up some examples over there, right? Something or the other where generally we use it in our daily things, like there's a television, you bought it, it is delivered to you. Either you buy a refrigerator, either you buy an AC, whatever it is. Once the product is being delivered to your location, you as a client, right? Once it is delivered to your location, you as a client, what is it you people will do? So you people bought a lot of products over there. Somebody has bought a television, somebody has bought a refrigerator. Don't you remember that day when the product is being delivered to you? Now, does not matter you buy an online product or an offline product. We are not going to discuss about that over here. Okay. Now tell me, what was you were doing once the product is being delivered? The courier boy comes, leaves the package and goes, right? What did you do that time?
Maybe we will wait for the demo guy to
Hmm.
approach demo person, or else we will start
Perfectly.
use. Yeah.
Perfectly. Because we clients will never do anything. Fine. You want to do something, you'll only do an unpacking, more or the less, but not more than that. Sometimes we will even not do the unpacking also, because we cannot guess anything, right? What do they say? You have unpacked it, you damaged it, we are not responsible for that. We might get some kind of experiences like that also. So even that also will not do it. So they will only do the unpacking also. Chill. So they did the unpacking, right? The person related to the whatever the brand you buy, a person walks into your organization, your house. That person is nothing but an end user over there who does a user acceptance testing. Now, you people remember, like once the product has been installed, he gave a demo of that, right? This is how you need to use it, right? Refrigerator, we are talking about summers. This is the temperature you put it. The winters, you put it in this so temperature. Blah blah blah. He keeps on explaining something or the other, right? Prepares one copy, right? And he tells you to sign it. Why you need to sign it over there?
Yes, sir.
Why do you sign it?
Uh,
User accepting the product
Accepting.
delivered properly.
Yeah.
User accepting the product installed successfully. User accepting the product is working properly. For that reason, you're talking about a user acceptance testing, right? At the client level. Now, at the organization where it got developed, we don't know which environment they developed it. Now we'll move on to our software side. They developed a WhatsApp application somewhere using an Android 1 or 2 version over there. By the time it released at the client location, we got somewhere around 10 or 11 over the version. Now the application needs to be developed in such a way that it has to be working in these environments, right? The hardware configurations, all such kind of things need to be capable of that application over there. Yes, I will agree. The application keeps on getting updated, upgraded, right? This is what you can call it as an user acceptance testing in simple words there, right? The application, the WhatsApp application gets updated. Along with that, your Android application also gets updated. So all these things, updates, upgrades need to be done always at the client location. We cannot call the client to walk into the organization where it got developed to do all those modifications. We will place a team 24/7 at the client location, and the team is nothing but these people, right? Present at the client location, need to solve all those queries, whatever the updations need to be done, they will be doing it within that environment itself, right? So this is what we are talking about, end users over there, and nothing but group of developers and test engineers. We'll call up another person over here, right? So I can understand how we hate them, but still we need to call them. Do you people hate them? People are working.
Yes.
I can understand, right? But still they are also working. We have to call them, right? So the test leads or the managers, right? Their responsibilities are to prepare some documents kind of things, right? Let me define those names over here for you. Prepare test strategy document and a test plan document over here. Strategy document will be a quality level document for you, right? Related to the project, how the quality standards need to be maintained. Plan document will be the functional plans related to the project, what all needs to be tested, who all need to be testing it, right? All that is going to be defined. Need not worry. I'm not going to prepare right now these two documents. These two documents will be prepared when before our practical will begin over there. Just before our test case is prepared, I'll be putting these two documents over there, right? So we'll only define the names, right? Later we'll have the discussion about that over there. So this is what we got a clarity. Testing done by whom? It is not only test engineers. Yes, we are playing a vital role over there for the organization, right? And we do testing the external part of the application, right? Whereas developers point of view, right? The internal structure, internal part of the application, that is what they said. Source code is all about the internal part. But at the client location, you do the complete testing, but not in a detailed manner. As an end user, I will never ever do it in a detail. The detailed investigation was done by my developers and test engineers within the organization. Now, once it is being released, I'm not going to do it the detailed manner. What am I going to do it at the client now? I will make it install, connect it, check whether it is working or not, and done with that. But I will not see which plastic quality I'm using it, what is the length will be, what is the size will be, if at all I'm talking about refrigerator, where the handle should be. No, I'm not going to talk about all that. All those need to be talking about within the organization. Whereas end user at the client location, he is not going to do it in a detailed manner, right? Let me put that line also for you. Testing in non-detailed manner. Whereas within the organization, where the actual product got developed, will do a detailed investigation, detailed testing over there, right? Detailed testing by the developers and testers, right, within the organization. But the same developers and testers, where we assigned a team 24/7 at the client location, they will never do that. They will only see the external structure, installing it, working, like WhatsApp application. I'm picking up an client device over here, right? Is it functioning? I'm able to register or not, right? That will I will only see that. But whereas at the client in the organization level, I will see what all emojis need to be used, right? Are they being working properly or not, right? Such kind of things will be done within the organization over there. So this is what it is. Testing done by whom? So one query has been resolved by us now, right? So testing done by test engineers, developers, end users, and the leads or the managers over there, right? So this is what got a clarity. There's another question, query also for us, right? How important is this testing? Or what is the necessary of testing? Or for whom it is necessary? Is it required for the client, the test engineers, or the organization? For whom it is really required? Or as you get it in your, what do you call it, in your exams, what is that you call it as? All the above. Whom do you point out? Testing is really required for client, test engineer, or organization?
All.
Okay, also I will discuss about each and every person over here, right? We'll see how it is necessary in each and every person's perspective over here, making it clear, right? Let me open a paint for you. Sure. So you as a client now, right, walk into an organization with some requirements, right? These are my requirements. The requirements given to the organization. The organizations have picked up a developer, right? So I'm using developer over here rather than organization, right? It got developed. Now what do we do is, rather directly involving our test engineer, right? We'll put the test engineer aside a little bit. That means I'll be taking you somewhere like 20-25 years back, right, where testing was not done those days, right? Once the product developed by the developers, release it to the client. Now you as a client, what are you going to do now? Okay, you want me to give any examples? I will even give an examples. You people are frequently buying mobiles over there. You can consider it as a mobile also. Brand, chalo, Magnesia, sorry. Samsung mobile will pick up. You bought a Samsung phone now. What do you do with that? You people are silent as if you never bought any cell phones till now.
We will start using it. And
The very first day, what was your intention when you buy the phone and you are sitting at your place right now?
we will go through all the options that are available.
That means you are doing some testing.
Yeah, we'll check
Yes,
with the specifications.
you'll do that, right? You'll see whether the cameras are working, the options are working, and so on. Something or the other is not working, you're not satisfied. What is it you'll do? Simple, you'll give it back to the organization. Online shopping, there is a return policy. Offline, you go to a service center, make it repair, right? Whatever it is happened to be done, they will do it. After once it is done, they'll give it back to you again. Now, what do you do again over here? You'll do a thorough checking again now. Say like this process keeps on happening between you and the organization now. Somewhere around 20, 30 times like this, you keep on going to the organization saying this is having a problem, that is having a problem in my mobile. End of the day, you got your mobile, right, with all your queries resolved, right? Now your mobile is working properly, no queries, no defects in that now, right? My point over here will be, will you be satisfied with the product which is being delivered by that company?
No, we won't be satisfied.
Simple.
Next time
So
to buy that product, we will be hesitating.
you will get an hesitation, and even you will be giving reviews also. So
Yeah,
I'm planning to buy a Samsung television now. Now, what will be your suggestion to me now?
we won't be recommending that.
Simple as that. Straightforward answer, right? You will not even recommend me. Don't go to that Samsung. Go for some XYZ over there, right? So now, what did you did over there? You pointed out to the entire organization, the brand you're pointing out, right? Samsung is a company where it is not only manufacturing, what do you call, mobiles, televisions are there, refrigerators are there, right? There are plenty of things to be done. You have bought a mobile and you pointed out to the entire Samsung over there. And what I was planning to buy a television, right? So what is it happening for the organizations? The organizations are facing a lot of bad reputations over there, right? Need to overcome these all bad reputations. They need testing now, right? Same thing, I can evenly put up an example to this. Magnesia is an organization where you people are joining for the course. You are a client there, right? So I'm dealing with the subject and I do not teach you well. I do not come regularly. Neither I do not solve all your queries. You go to Google and start typing the reviews. What can be the reviews being typed by you? Simple. This organization is not teaching us well, or otherwise, this so-called organization, Mr. Arvind, is not teaching us well, right? So organization is not teaching you. I'm teaching you. You should point out to me, not to the organization over there, because organization is not having only one person called Arvind. There are some number of people who teach subject, and everybody gets blamed over there when you point out to the organization. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Simple. In
Yes.
that case, the organizations are in need of testing, right? Why? To overcome all such kind of bad reputations over there. Now they call up test engineer now. Now the testing has come up at somewhere or the other stage in some year there, right? And what do? We do all check the requirements as a test engineer. If the requirements are not satisfied, if there is any defect, we will give it back, right? Now, can I say this as earlier, what client is to do, we are going to do it the same way now? Can I say that?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, we are doing it, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, how many times you want to give it back to the developer and take it back, you can do it. It is not yet released it to the client. Now, after doing all these multiple rounds of testing, when all the requirements are satisfied, no defects, then deliver it to the client. Now you can specify it as a quality product now. Earlier, I did not call it as a product. You itself said, no, I'm not satisfied with the company over there because it is not delivering a quality product, because it made me roam a lot of times, right? There was a lot of issues kept on raising for that. Now, we just sent directly now, where we are making it as a mark onto that product. It is a quality product. It is quality checked, right? If you people see behind anything, the electronic products, what you find it right at the back of your mouse, the keyboard, even your TV remotes at the back, you'll find a small sticker on it. QC, okay, checked, passed kind of things. These are all gone through a quality analysis over there, which is all done by, where is it? My mouse. This person called as test engineers, right? So that is what it is. Can we say that client cannot turn back in this way? Will he come back or not in this case also?
There are chances of coming back.
There will be, but rather than earlier like 20 times, one or two twice does not affect anything, right?
Yes.
There are chances in that case over there. So client perspective, how testing is required or how it is necessary, so that he can rely on the product which is being delivered from the organization, right? He can be satisfied, he can be relied on the product, right? So for that purpose, client requires testing. So organizations require testing to ensure we always deliver a quality product and a defect-free product over there, right? So that is what it is, organization's perspective. And we are required, why we are here, right? We are here to point out the defects which were made by the developers or during the development process over there. Let me put all these lines for you now. Right. So let me put in the test engineer's perspective over here, right? Testing is really required to point out the defects which were made during development process. So as per a test engineer's perspective over here, right? Whereas client's perspective over here will make it like this, right? Is essential since it makes sure the customer's reliability and their satisfaction on the product which is delivered from so-called organization over there. That is client's perspective. Whereas when I call up organization, so in the organization point of view, right? So testing is conducted to ensure it is working properly and the end product is a defect-free quality product over there, right? In organization level, conducted to verify functionality of application and ensure the end product is quality or defective. That is what they will do. So when this entire process is happening, right, what is our responsibility over here as a test engineers? So when we are there, right, we are doing some defects pointing out over there. But when we are talking about organization's point of view, I can even add up another line also for you. So tester will be measuring those qualities of the product over there, right? So let me put that line also for you. Testers can measure the quality of the product over. That is what we can put it as, right? Because we are working in the so-called organization, right? They are delivering quality. In order to deliver quality, we have to measure that quality standards are there in the product or not. So that is what it is. And in this, even you can use this line also as for your testing. Testing defining is really testing is really required to point out the defects which were made during the development process. Even this line also you can use it for your testing definition also over here, right? So you can see how important it is for everybody. It is important in their own perspectives over there. But so in this case, can I say test engineer replaces clients, test engineer represents to organization? Can I say this?
Yes, we can say that.
Yes, right? You look at the paint over here, paint diagram. What earlier client was doing it, we are doing it. That means we replaced the client. When we replaced our client, we need to get into the understanding about the requirement, right? Understanding of the requirements in a sense, I'll take you back to the yesterday's session where we said 1 plus 1 equal to 3. The client asked for. So what is your mindset telling you now? It is to be 1 plus 1 equal to 3, not 1 plus 1 equal to 2 over there, right? You change your mindset because you are replacing as a client. So how is the client thinking? You need to get into those thinking capacities over there, right? So that is why we test engineers always replace the clients, but from an organization's point of view, we are representing so-called organization. I'm a person over here, right, working for this organization called so-called organization. I'm representing from this organization, right? I'm making sure the subject is being understood to you. That means I need to get into the way you people think about, right? Your queries can be solved, right? So that thinking capacities I need to come down, make sure the subject is being solved, right? Where I'm giving the subject delivery from this so-called organization over here, right? So this is how it is. We are talking about the importance of this testing. And these testings to be conducted in how many ways over there? How many ways testing is done?
Automation and manual.
Automation and manual, right? Because that is the course you have joined for. It is the two ways over there. There's always two ways in that case. It is manual testing and your automation testing over there. So how do you define the word called manual testing over here? Testing with the help of manpower. And when it comes down to the automation side, with the help of tools over here, right? So what are the pros and cons between these two? So manual and automation, you can pick up a lot of examples over there. Your automobiles, vehicles. You're driving a vehicle with a gear, manual testing. Without is become an automation. You're climbing a building using a staircase, manual testing. Using a lift will be an automation. You're doing an accounts in your book, right? The ledger books, you'll call it as manual accounting. Nowadays, they are using softwares like accounting software. What are those? A tally, blah, 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 and all. Those you can call it as automation. So everywhere there is process. So based on this, try to get some the pros and cons between these two. Does not matter, you evenly start up with the drawback also. Think. Takes too much time to test. Yes, manual testing is all about time taken process. So that will be your the drawback.
More efforts.
Time taken process, more efforts, resources are required a lot. Right? Anything else more? Is it easy to repeat the task? No. What is it going to talking about repeating is writing of test cases, preparing of the bug reports again and again and again and again. Continue. Is it easy for you?
No.
Yeah, I can understand you people haven't yet gone to the test case talking about it, but I will reveal it. Yes, it is going to be difficult for us to write the test cases, multiple test cases, multiple times. Why we have to write multiple test cases multiple times over there? See, the application is not going to be developed at once and stopped. So the application will be developed in a part by part. It is going to be delivered to the client in a version by version, build by build. So every build, there will be different requirements. There will be every test cases, different test cases. So in that particular build, if my client tells my requirements are changed in this build, so I need to do the changes in the test cases evenly also, which is going to be a very difficult task for us, right? So difficult in repetition over there. Fine, we do take a lot of stress and we do repeat it times, right? End of the day, can you get an accurate result? Where I will say no accuracy or no accurate result over there because of human errors. There are a lot of human errors been happening. So end of the day, we cannot give an accurate result over there. Then when we are having so many drawbacks, is it having any advantages than manual testing? Fine, if at all I want to do the comparison of my manual drawbacks, are those going to be our automation advantages? No. Why do we have to use automation testing? Simple. Only to overcome the manual drawbacks. When we are using automation, right? You said manual, time taken. Here, I'm taking it as past tense process. Next, more resources, less resources over there, right? Easy repetition, whatever the spelling is. And we can get an accurate result also over there because it is all tool which is going to do it as. But eventually, what will be the drawbacks of automation which becomes as advantages of manual? which is going to be revealed in this now. The main advantage, the major advantage for us. Yesterday, somebody asked me, do we need to have a programming knowledge? Gave a clarity onto that. Manual, no, we don't require any programming knowledge. But yes, when it comes down to the automation, right? Automation, if picking up a tool called Selenium over there, the software name, right? Yes, I'll be mentioning it as Java knowledge is required, right? For your clarity, right? For your reliabilities over there, I'll make it sure. We automation testers onto Selenium, we do not write entire Java, or we do not need entire Java knowledge over here. We require only oops of Java. Java is an ocean. In that ocean, we just need to handle a part of Java, that is oops. It's only a 5% of Java, right? If you people are comfortable in C, C++ done, then oops will be easy. You're already have a knowledge on Java will be easy. The only problem with the automation will be who's not having any knowledge about the programming, right? Do not worry. We'll start from the Java language initially, then take you to the Selenium part, right? So the initial classes will be completely on Java, Java descriptions and all. What are the statements, the conditions to be written, everything will be given to you explanation. Then based on those concepts, we'll be writing the Selenium programs over there, right? When we are saying Selenium, Selenium itself is built on Java basis, right? So it will be required over there is a mandatory Java. Inside Java, oops of Java, not at all anything else, right? Oops is nothing but object-oriented programming structure, which we call it as, right? Whereas manual, that is the advantage. We do not require this programming knowledge. Only thing we require in the manual is English. You're comfortable in English, you will get into the manual easily. That is why every technical term of testing, we are converting into a general English, making into the understanding of us and getting along. Sure. And anything else? Manual, we can do any type of testing, possibilities are there. Whereas over here, only a specific testing is done. We picked up an example of Selenium, right? So here when I'm putting everything in the bracket is related to Selenium itself, right? Tomorrow when we come down, we'll have a discussion about the tools, multiple tools, how many are there? Within the tools comparison, we will even compare with our manual side also, right? That will do it, do not worry, right? That is why I said specific testing is done. When I'm saying it as Selenium, which has been put in the bracket, here again, functional, right? Anything else? Documentation. Documentation like test case preparation, the bug reports, the client report documents, the test reports, everything which is done manually. Whereas here, no tool will generate any documentation. Selenium, not at all possible, right? That is another comparison. Any type of application, we humans are going to do any specific testing of only this kind of an application, or we are capable to do onto testing onto any application, software, hardware, everything you can pick up. Whereas tool, again, specific type of application. We are talking about Selenium comparison, web and mobile application. That is your comparison, right? So you can see the comparisons between the manual and to the automation itself over here, right? But can you survive only with manual testing? Or can you survive only with automation testing? Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
No, not at all possible. Yes, sir. Not at all possible. You learn only manual, want to get into the jobs, difficult, right? You need to wait for the opportunity. The company asks only manual test engineers because you are having only one option over there. There is no other option, right? People thinking about something like this. Oh, who's going to learn manual? Manual is all boring there. Yes, I directly will tell you, it is a boring session, right? Because it's going to be a lot of theory, lesser with the practical. When it comes down to automation, more with the practical, lesser with the theory. Quite opposite, both are things, right? But only with automation, also you cannot survive there. I have my old student who has done his automation testing, Selenium, went to the company, joined in an Infosys, right? So they were not having a resources of manual test engineers. They told him to write test cases. Where is it? They told him to write test cases. No answer for him. So he had to leave that. They gave him some time, sent him away. He had to come down, had to learn how do we write test cases, the basics and all he had to learn, then get along. So for any product or project, you'll always start with a manual, the client requirements, right? For that, you'll write a test cases. For the accuracy part, you will take automation, right? So automation, you'll generate some scripts over here, do the execution of the scripts, right? After execution, you will always raise a defect over there. You'll always raise a bug. Now, the tools like Selenium example is not able to generate any bug report. So you are again relied on your manual test engineer, where he will prepare a bug report. If there is no bug report, then he'll prepare a test report document closing of it. So you will have to start with manual, end with manual. Automation is just an option. Today is Selenium. What about tomorrow? Maybe an XYZ. Before Selenium, there are still different type of tools over there, right? So I will make sure that why did we have to switch on from those previous tools to Selenium, that I'll put it in tomorrow's session for you. Don't worry, right? So that is how it is. Manual and automation combined. That is why they say, what does mean by testing tools? There's a manual and automation combination over there. Any product or a project, you'll always start with a manual, end up with a manual. In between, you use an automation. Why? When I just gave you an example of climbing a building, right? You're using a lift. I said automation, but you need to walk to the lift is a manual. You get out of the lift, you need to walk to your house door, right? You need a manual there, right? The lift is not taking you directly to your hall or a bedroom there. So that is how it is there, right? So you have to learn manual and automation to survive. You have two options. Company can ask you either this or that. You've been ready onto that, right? You get into this, you will get into the options of either any of this manual or automation, functional, Selenium, which you are going to write it out over there. right? So this is what it is. Where is it? Testing done in two ways, manual or automation. So both have their pros and cons. So that is why we have to learn both the things over there. So I'll put up a question to you, right? Try to get some answers when you come down tomorrow for me. How many number of types of tools are there, right? Use your browsing skills,